It's football o'clock, friends. Celebrate Buckeye Game Day. This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Also presented by Key Bank. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. Key Bank opens doors.
Along with former Buckeye Dane Sanzenbacher, here's Matty Ice.
And here we go. Welcome in. Happy game day, Buckeye Nation. I'm Matty Ice, and to my right, I got my big dog. The big dog's in the house per usual on a game day.
DeVier, they didn't put you in the pregame intro.
They edited me out.
Oh my God!
But DeVier Posey is here
with disrespect.
DeVier Posey in the house. Dane Sanzenbacher in the house. I'm Matty Ice. Welcome in. And again, happy game day. Happy New Year to most of you. I know the last time we talked to you was a few weeks ago, and now here we are in 2025. Fellas, how we feeling? How we feeling about tonight and everything that's going to happen when Ohio State and Texas get together? How you guys been?
You know what I did to prepare, like any good fan would do to prepare for a game in Texas.
Yeah,
I watched Friday Night Lights.
There it is.
Booby Miles.
The movie. Not the show. The movie.
Yep.
It's quick to the point. It got me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We've asked this team to be perfect.
Yes, we have.
Perfect ain't about that scoreboard.
No, it's not, Dane.
It's not about winning.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It's about you and your relationship with yourself, your family, and your friends. Perfect is being able to look your friend in the eye, let him know you didn't let him down, because you told him the truth. And the truth is that you did everything you could.
Yes, there it is.
There wasn't one more thing you could have done.
Let's go.
Can you live in that moment with clear eyes, joy in your heart, with love in your heart?
Keep going.
I'm going to look at like Jameis.
If you can do that, gentlemen, you're perfect.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Where's the nearest brick wall?
Let's go.
Because I'm ready to run through it. I'm ready to run through it.
I don't know if this is brick, but you can try this one.
We're going to run through that fake brick wall.
That was incredible. Listen, you brought it last week to start the show.
We've asked him to be perfect.
And you did it again today. Oh, now here's the real question. How long did it take to memorize that speech?
Whole ride down here. Whole ride down here. I was in my car saying it by myself because I was like, no, I can't be reading it. I need to look these guys in the eyes.
Oh, man.
So I had to memorize it. I'm like, I need this one.
That's impressive.
Billy Bob brought the juice in that one.
He did. That's impressive.
Man,
phenomenal movie.
And I'm going to do the best I can to squeeze these into like every part of the segment.
Okay.
There's some knowledge in that movie, but it's so pertinent to this game, man.
It is.
It's in the heart of Texas. This is an awesome one because of where it is.
It is.
I mean, this is one of those matchups. This is heavyweights.
I'm glad you said that because as far as brand on brand goes,
It's so good.
doesn't get much stronger than this. It does not get much stronger than this. We're going to dive into Ohio State and Texas for the next couple hours. Folks, thanks for joining us. Before we do that, let's go back to last week because you and I, the three of us, were sitting here getting ready for Ohio State and Oregon, and there were just so many question marks as far as what is part two going to look like. And part two turned into an absolute beatdown out there in Pasadena. So I want to give you guys the floor and just go wherever you want to go with the last matchup that we saw Ohio State participate in. Final score, that one, 41-21, and it was just complete dominance by the Scarlet and Gray.
Yeah, man. I would just like to say that was the most enjoyable game this season for me. And a few reasons why. Well, one, we're up 34-0 in the first half. I'm sitting on the couch, rubbing my big toes together, just enjoying this win. I'm just like, listen, man, there's nothing more enjoyable than just being like, we're winning this game. I kind of felt like that in the first half of the Georgia game, too, with CJ and Marvin Harrison. It just felt like there's nothing we could do to win this game, but I kind of had to continue to watch because that game took a drastic turn. But this game, in terms of offensive execution, obviously Jeremiah, he'll be a tough animal. We can all just say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. He's our tough animal, Jeremiah Smith, right? Like, we know that. But at the same time, outside of him, Will's execution, we talked about Travion having a big game. Like we found our formula. And just when Ohio State, for this team, they have the type of team where normally in football, you use the run to open up the pass. Traditionally, that's how football has been played. It's just simple. It's just the opposite for Ohio State. They use the pass to open up the run, and when we do that, we're a dangerous team. So happy these guys are on fire right now. Coaching staff, they all deserve what they're getting, and it's just been, from our standpoint, covering this team all year, I haven't seen them perform better than they did in the Rose Bowl, and I was really happy.
I said this, throughout the week with AR on our show. I said what we're seeing now, the last 2 games, as far as execution, matches the hype that was talked about all offseason, with this team potentially looking and feeling like a juggernaut. And right now they just looked apart. And it feels like the only thing that's going to slow them down is themselves.
Yep.
Right? When you look at just what they're doing, playing high-level football, playing complimentary football, this team is just cooking right now, Dane.
I was thinking about how they've been able to thread this needle right now that, you came in the season as this favorite. Like you talked about. And I was early on in the season, I was like, you got to be careful with that, because when you're setting the bar as you're the top dog, you better not slip. Mm-hmm. And then you slip a little. Then you slip a little. And then it turns around. But at this point in the season, the fact that they've been able to answer the bell, now you've got a team that both is the most talented team left in the playoff and has a chip on their shoulder, as if they've got something to prove. That's to me, that's a really dangerous combination. Yeah. That's what I saw in Oregon.
Yeah. It's amazing when potential actually meets production. And as a fan base, we got to see it. Like, it just was like they had this potential, and then we're finally seeing the production. No one has said a peep about this defense since, Knowles gave up that 60-yard bomb and against Georgia, right? That next year they came back and answered those big play questions. We had a tight Michigan loss, and then, he was able, Dane, this year, Oregon threw a touchdown pass on us. We didn't get another touchdown pass thrown. Like, as much as people killed Denzel Burke and we said he had a bad game, no one gave up a touchdown pass until we played Oregon again. And it's just like, this defense gives me so much confidence.
There was some chirping after the first game, right?
Right.
So there was some chirps about, like, what is up with the defense here? It looked stale, looked boring. I mean, I think they even went. That was the word that was being thrown around. And credit to them, they mid-year took a look at it and said, all right, what can we do differently? From then, I think you saw a defense now that looks like they're trying to make plays. They're not trying to stop plays from happening. They're trying to make plays, and it's been dangerous from that game on. They've been steady. It's been looking like the team. It's really been the offense getting in rhythm that's been the inconsistent one. They didn't get it figured out against Indiana. Didn't really have it figured out against Michigan. Tennessee came, and I was there for that one, and I was like, oh, it's figured out.
It's a light show.
There we go. Yep. And then they went out to Pasadena, had to back it up. Is this a flash in the pan? Well, they figured it out again. So, I mean, I think I'm like most Ohio State fans, just trying to temper where I'm at to avoid getting let down. But there's nothing we've seen in these last 2 weeks that says they shouldn't come out firing.
No, not at all. One thing I want to bring up, because it's not very sexy to talk about, but you guys know how
But the way you say it.
How important it is what we're seeing up front with this offensive line.
Yeah.
This offensive line coming into the postseason was, okay, what do we get? No Josh Simmons, no Seth McLaughlin. Josh Simmons looks like he's going to be a first-round pick. McLaughlin wins the Remington Trophy Award for the best center in the country. And now here we are, and there's no, I think, lack of confidence that anybody has with that unit in their ability to hold up and allow Will and Jeremiah and Emeka and Travion to do what they do. So I think that's huge credit to Coach Fry, Coach Day, Coach Kelly, everybody over there to get that unit in order. And it couldn't have come at a better time. And so the Donovan Jacksons of the world sliding out the left tackle and just all the different names that have had to move around on that offensive line, that's such a big deal right now, and why this offense is able to hum to where they're humming.
So we had questions about the offensive line in training camp, right? Do you guys remember when they were rotating guys of 5, trying to figure out who is going to play? That competition and rotating guys and trying to figure out who is going to make the offensive line is the reason why our offensive line is able to slide over. It's the reason why Donovan is able to move over left tackle, is because everybody had to learn everything because everybody's position was up this year. And so you take that mindset of, okay, we're in a competition because we need to figure out a new offensive line. That means the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s got to be ready. Look at Notre Dame, right? They're international championship. they're the only other team that's been plagued with injuries. But as you get plagued with injuries as a coach, you're tasked with the opportunity to get the backups ready. And in this new format, Dane, with these 4 or 5 games after the season, depending on if you get the conference game, you need dudes, man. Like, I think Ohio State wins today, obviously, but I think the 2 deepest teams, Notre Dame and Ohio State, are going to be in the national championship because they have 2s, 3s, and 4s that can give you 1 production.
And it was such a big talking point for a lot of coaches around the country this year with the expanded playoff was we got to get depth going. We got to develop depth, right, for these rounds and rounds that we got to play with an extended season. And so Ohio State has done that. The roster is loaded from top to bottom, and they're absolutely hitting on all cylinders. Coming up next, you'll hear from Coach Day. Ohio State is favored in this game by almost a touchdown. How does he feel about it? You'll hear it next. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
what's it like to have a yard?
Can lead to an even bigger question like,
am I ready to buy a home?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you, prepared to talk about everything you need to know when applying for a mortgage, so you can try to turn those backyard dreams into reality. Paul?
Yes?
Question. Are you a hammock person?
You know, I think I might be.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. NMLS 399797, Equal Housing Lender.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Now through February 3rd, get a great lease deal or $2,000 customer cash on a new 24 or 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or get 4.99 APR financing on remaining new 24 Tacomas and new 25s. With approved through TFS. Excludes TRD Pro and Trailhunter models. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Get yourself Toyota ready. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're fired up. Let's do it. When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Bishop and Friends.
And if everybody just slows down and maintains speed, True Zipper Merge, you go, I go, is the easiest thing in the history of the world.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Seller.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
Looking for the perfect car? Drive like a champion with Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Featuring a vast selection of Mercedes-Benz, Ineos, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. We have the new or pre-owned vehicle you've been dreaming of. Experience exceptional car care and top-notch customer service at prices that can't be beat. With competitive deals and exclusive special offers, there's never been a better time to visit. Your road to adventure starts here. Crown Automotive Group of Dublin, where the journey begins. Find us on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Catch your dream car today. People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Cheer on the home team tonight and then take advantage of these great deals from Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is sticking with rates starting as low as 0%. You've got to experience the future today with the Honda Prologue, the all-new, all-electric SUV. Saw one yesterday, beautiful. Or drive home in a CR-V LX all-wheel drive for $349 a month, 36-month lease with only $19.99 due at signing. Go check out these amazing details with my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Winter weather advisories have been posted for Central Ohio. Snow is expected to begin between about 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. this evening, and it should be winding down by about 11 p.m. A quick inch or two is expected, which could make for some slick roads later on tonight. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Chicken wings, check. Drinks, check. Listening to the Fan, check. It must be game day.
Sponsored by Reichert Chevy.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors. Also presented by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Getting you ready for another Buckeye victory. Here's Matty Ice. Yeah!
Welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. I'm Matty Ice. I am in the building, but I got two former Buckeye wide receivers chopping it up with me and you as well. Dane Sanzenbacher, DeVier, Posey. Happy game day, folks. Getting you ready for Ohio State and Texas. Fellas, Buckeyes favored by 6 points in this game. Some people thought it would be bigger than that based off of the way Texas has looked okay throughout the first couple of rounds. But the one thing that I like about this team right now is when you hear the players talk, whether it's Will, Emeka, Jack Sawyer, these guys are so focused on the task right now and not being distracted by what they've accomplished. And that was one thing I wasn't worried about coming out of the Michigan game. Sure, you're going to feel bad for a couple days, maybe a week or whatever it was. But once you reset and realize, man, we got a chance to play for the Natty, how could you not be motivated at the highest level? And these guys are saying the right things, but like you guys talked about in the previous segment, you can just feel and see the execution. And I think that comes with something we've talked about all year. This is a mature team. This is a mature team on both sides of the ball that has juniors and seniors all over the place and a lot of guys that are going to be playing on Sundays. And these guys realize they have a chance to do something special and be a part of something that not a lot of teams get to be a part of at a historically rich program.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it last segment too. I mean, this is a team that, I had to look at how I looked at this earlier this season. I'm like, man, I don't know that we ought to be just like going right into like this national championship or bust mentality. Like that was the talk early in the year. I'm like, whoa. Let's calm down. Let's just get through it.
Yeah.
But you've got a team at this point in the season, you can look back on it. And, Matty, you're absolutely right. They've been focused on this as the goal the whole time, okay? A few slip-ups, sure. But you're seeing that focus now that the playoff is hit. Yep. I mean, from the Tennessee game on, the reaction after that game, I was really interested to see because this was a team that was coming off a Michigan loss. And they're like, okay, how are you going to react for one? But then how are you going to react the next after you win this game big? They took it as we got a long way to go. Mm-hmm. And after every game, it's been, we got a long way, we got a couple more to go. Like, they know what the goal is. So, I mean, you're in a really good spot to find a way to, one, be clicking right now, and two, be the team in the playoff that has been built from day one for this type of run.
No doubt.
Yeah. And healthy. I guess I should throw that in there.
Yeah. Huge. Yeah, absolutely, because it's a battle of attrition with these playoffs and these young guys and the longest season ever in college football history. But, the thing about these guys, Ohio State 2024 football team, to me, has shown some of the best ability to address concerns. I haven't been more impressed with a team in a school, in a program that has an issue one week, the next week it's almost gone. It's not like you keep everybody remembers Seth McLaughlin's thing last year was his snaps. Mm-hmm. He fixed that here. All the issues we saw them fix. Jeremiah Smith drops his first pass of his career. He's the best receiver to ever come here as a freshman. You know, like in every way, so many different
defense at Oregon.
Fixed it. Didn't give up a passing touchdown. And I think you can't do that without being in the moment, without having, like, Matty, do you know how hard it would be if me, you, and Dane came in here tomorrow and watched our show back and, like, we were critiquing each other?
No, I don't ever watch this show back.
It would be tough. It would just, like, bro, like, everybody knows when that, and you know when that mess up is coming, like, oh, I shouldn't have said that here. You know that on film. These guys get in these film sessions, and I've never been in there, but, like, can you just imagine the openness, the honesty, like the honor to your teammate that you got to have to fix an issue?
Well, you know what it speaks to as well, though? Because this is reminding me of NFL locker rooms.
Yep.
It's reminding me of that because, and maybe that's just the direction, you know, college is starting to go, but I think
because of money.
Well, no, I'm not even going to go there. We'll have a whole nother segment. But just because, like, you know, you're thinking now about a longer season. You're thinking big picture. You can't help but. You know, you start the season, you're like, okay, our goal, we want to win a national championship. Here's how it goes. It's a playoff system this year. We're going to have boom, 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 boom. So instead of the old model, when me and you were there, college football, you lost to Purdue or you lost the game.
We got to make changes.
Well, it's almost like, okay, I guess we're thinking about next year because like what happens now?
Yep.
It's almost like you set who you were at the beginning and you just went with it. You know, you tried to tweak stuff, but I think you're seeing this team, and it's probably happening in a lot of locker rooms, there's a maturity and an understanding that this is a long season. We have time to make these corrections. We have time to address these things. We can do it in season. This thing isn't going to fly by, and we need to do this for the long haul. And I think with that approach, I mean, I guess maybe we needed to have a little patience as fans, but that's not our job, man. No, it's not. It's not our job to be patient, man. Figure it out. Figure it out faster.
Think about this
Why
roster,
we win about
right?
40?
Make me wait till January to see this offense.
This roster was highlighted by Urban and Tress as one of the best rosters they've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
For the season, those guys were at practice. Those guys obviously been at the top of the mountain. So that was heavy praise put on the shoulders of Ryan Day in this team. But it's ironic to me that this year's roster kind of mirrors a little bit of what Michigan had last year, just as far as experience. This team is much more talented than what Michigan was, but I think that's what can show itself now in this transfer portal era, is that you can have guys come in from other programs that have been there, done that, or in the case of Ohio State, they had guys that were really motivated to correct some wrongs.
Well, any quarterback that shows the two quarterbacks in the national championship are portal quarterbacks.
Correct.
Quinn or Howard.
Right, correct. Yep. And the guy that's already there, and Riley Leonard, came from Duke, and now he's at Notre Dame as well. So it's, to me, just this perfect blend of veteran experience. You got a phenom freshman that comes in that's just from a different planet. He's a mutant with his talent. And then your quarterback one comes in from the Big 12 and played a whole bunch of games too. And I think that is something that can help a team get off the mat the way that they did. It's something Jim Knowles talked about this week, especially with the defensive unit, which obviously is his forte, is he said, I can run things by these guys and say it once, and they'll take control of a meeting room like you're talking about.
Love it.
And they can get on each other, and I only have to do so much coaching. He's always going to be on them, but that's the beauty of what we're seeing this year is guys that can take ownership, whether it's Jack, Lathan, whoever it may be. These guys only need coached up to a certain level, and they'll be able to take the steering wheel from there.
And a lot of that goes to the senior leaders, bro. Like a policed locker room, you know, is the best thing when you have leaders that can police it. And I was watching this, the Marshawn Lynch, Mike Robinson pod. They had Charles Woodson on, and Marshawn Lynch loves Charles Woodson. But they asked him, Charles, like, did you ever run into issues because you're Charles Woodson? Obviously, a DB is going to come and ask you, Dane, how do you play that? Charles, like, and then the coach says something in the meeting, and so Charles is like, I kind of had to go through, like, hey, you do it this way. But I heard what he told you in the meeting. You can get cut. I'm fine. Just make sure you make the play. But just that conversation of older players, like I played with Andre Johnson, and when you play with like a vet, like a Cody Simon, a Jack Sawyer, a JTT, a Denzel, those guys are in the meeting room sort of like, hey, like I heard what Coach said. I'm going to play it this way. Yeah. And then you help the other guys because, bro, I remember it was plenty of times I'm asking Dane, asking Hartline, asking Robisky, how do I run the slant versus this coverage? The best part about coming to Ohio State for me, and the reason why I came here, was because I was going to be behind hardline and robo. Like, I wanted to learn from guys like that. And I think our program and this team with these leaders, they've gone through a lot. And outside, even their own kind has turned on them. And, you know, people wearing red, but they have stayed together and they've figured out a way. And I think that's the thing that I love, is that these leaders have continued to show us who they are, even through hard times.
I think it took some time to develop this too, because I think we were talking mid-year, like, who are the leaders? Like, I mean, everybody says Will, but that's an easy answer. That's the quarterback. Right. But we're like, well, how much a guy that just got here? Now, I think we see now he's clearly one of the leaders, but I think you're seeing more now, and it's late in the season, but these guys that have been here forever, that have been the stalwarts, that have been, you know, Jack Sawyer, Lathan, like these guys that have done it, are kind of stepping into those roles, and you're seeing it, and maybe they've already been there. So, I mean, I think it's taken some time, but again, it's just another point about they're in a really good place right now.
No doubt about it. Coming up in our What They're Saying segment, you will hear from Coach Day on the Buckeyes being favored by almost a touchdown, and we'll get into some Jim Knowles sound as well. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
The only radio show Ryan Day listens to when we're holding him hostage, making him listen to a radio show. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're going to make a resolution to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish and low energy, if your sleep patterns are off, if you've been working out and aren't seeing the gains you used to see, making that resolution may not be so easy. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're feeling the way I just described, we can likely help you with that resolution, because those symptoms probably mean you're suffering with low testosterone. And at Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating this. With our low T protocols, if you're like most men, the change will astound you. You'll feel more energy and better mental clarity, your sleep will improve, your workouts will be better, and you'll likely find your sex drive goes up as well. So call us today and get treated for your low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Every hockey player dreams of a hat trick.
And if you've ever seen one, you know it's a thrill when the hats hit the ice.
And now, it's hats off to Honda Marysville, because this season, every time a Blue Jacket scores a hat trick at Nationwide Arena,
Honda Marysville will give one lucky fan a 2-year lease on a new Honda Civic Sport on the spot.
So come to a game and cheer us on. Who knows?
A new car from Honda Marysville might be closer than you think.
Official rules at HondaMarysville.com/hat-trick.
Replace your furnace with Logan AC and Heat Services. Get a free Trane furnace with the purchase of an air conditioner and 0% APR financing for 72 months. Get a free indoor air quality product when you schedule your installation by the end of the month. We offer a system for every home and every budget. And with same-day estimates and next-day installation, it's hard to stop a Trane. Schedule your free estimate now and get fast, friendly service from Logan Services.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Meet Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Maryhaven. More and more people are falling into problem gambling. It can happen so quickly that you don't realize it until you face a crisis. Gambling issues often connect to depression, anxiety, or other addictions. Maryhaven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance. Confidential and judgment-free. Go to Maryhaven.com today.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
For 100 years, our passion at Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for my team at Valley Ford of Columbus. 2025 is here, and as a real Valley Ford customer, I urge you to get online to see all the New Year's savings at valleyfordofcolumbus.com. Ford F-150, Bronco Sports, Mustang Mach-E's, Valley has the massive selection to choose from, plus the lease and financing deals that have you rolling into 2025 with huge savings. Go to valleyfordofcolumbus.com today for all the details. That's valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus.
This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Buddy Wells. Last night at the Orange Bowl in the first of the two college football playoff semifinal games, a last-minute interception by Christian Gray helped set up a last-second 41-yard field goal by Mitch Jeter as Notre Dame beat Penn State 27-24, and the Fighting Irish advance to next Monday night's national championship game in Atlanta. Who will the Irish play? We'll find that out tonight, of course, as Ohio State takes on Texas down in Arlington at the Cotton Bowl. The Buckeyes and Longhorns will kick off at 7:30 tonight. Our network coverage with Paul Keels, Jim Lachey, Matt Andrews, and Skip Mossick will get started at 6 o'clock right here on The Fan. In the NFL, the wildcard round of the playoffs will get started tomorrow at 4:30. The Chargers are on the road against the Texans, and then at 8 o'clock, it's Pittsburgh on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. This update is sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus, your F-150 headquarters and the official dealership of Carnell Tate. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And also presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Here's the quarterback of our team. That's really dumb. Matty Ice. It's time to find out what they're saying.
Sponsored by Crown Automotive Group in Dublin, offering sales and service of Mercedes-Benz, Ineos, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, Dane, Sanzenbacher, DeVier, Posey getting you ready for Ohio State and Texas. Let's get right to it. Buckeyes favored by 6 out in Jerry's World. By the way, Buckeyes 3-1 at Jerry's World. So some good history in that building. Here's Ryan Day.
What was the one loss, Matty, real quick?
I'll have to look that up.
Was it Missouri last year?
I think you're correct in saying that. I think you're correct in saying that.
That game didn't happen. We're 3-0.
Yeah, I don't remember that game at all.
Yeah, that game didn't.
No.
We're 3-0.
The Men in Black zapping tool right there. That game never happened. But here's Ryan Day talking about being favorites tonight.
Nothing that Ohio State has done or Texas has done up until this week has anything to do with what's going to happen in this game. Zero. You know, if you think any otherwise, then just go back a couple weeks and see where we were a couple weeks ago. And so every single week, the slate is wiped clean, and you have to start from scratch again. And that starts with your meetings, with your walkthrough, and with your preparation. And so the bottom line is this game is going to be played, and the team that plays the best and executes the best is going to win the game.
So a lot of coach speak there, but that's real, what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, coach speak, but who asked that question? He seemed a little bit...
He was pissed.
I don't mind it. I mean, that's... Yeah. He's right. The coach needs to say that. And he's right that it is going to start 0-0. I think that Ohio State has a huge benefit of carrying a little bit of baggage, at least from these last two games coming in. And I think that's just something that obviously the coaches are going to prepare how they prepare. The players, I think everybody in that locker room has to be feeling good, though. You're going to prepare for it the same way. In their heads, it's 2 more games. In their heads, it's not just this one. We got to get the next one, too. But, yeah, I mean, that's how you look at them. That's how you look at a game fresh. You have to. You can't afford to stumble in this one. And Texas obviously is not a bad team. Like we're not like they're not going to be sleeping on the national semifinal. So I mean, I think they're going to prepare for it that way. But I mean, I like how they've done it so far.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think what Coach Day is speaking about is just the mindset that our good play doesn't carry. Don't think our good play carries over in this game just because we played that way. And don't think that we're thinking that we're going to prepare. We're going to take this as a 1-0 type of week. We're going to take each practice, each rep, each period, and try and win that. And the thing with Texas, a lot of the media is just trying to draw conclusions that they're done. No, they're a team that made it to the Final Four. They have a good quarterback. They have the best DB in America that's going to guard the best freshman in America. That's a hell of a matchup. You know, Jahdae Barron, he won the Thorpe Award this year. 7 is going to be traveling with 4. I'm excited for that. Texas has the best pass defense outside of Ohio State in the country. They don't allow many passing yards. Their allowed average is a lot less than what we had in Oregon.
To your point, they're number 1 in the country in passing yards allowed per attempt. They're second in the country in interceptions this year. However, that being said, they haven't seen a wide receiver room like they're going to see tonight.
No.
They're a unit you got to respect.
Got to respect them.
But you look up and down their schedule, and Jeremiah, Emeka, Carnell Tate, this is a whole nother level for them. So I'm interested to see how they handle that. But Barron is absolutely a dude. He'll be playing on Sundays. But we've just seen the creativity within this offense now, too, from Chip Kelly and the way he's getting these guys to rock. It's one of the big-time matchups in this game, no doubt about it. Tonight is that Texas secondary going up against Ohio State in this loaded wide receiver room.
Yep. And then their defensive line on our offensive line, right? Like we've answered the questions versus Tennessee and Oregon's rush. Texas has some dudes up there. I mean, they really caused some problems for Arizona State last week, and they really can only keep the ball on the ground. They had to resort to trick plays by our guy Scatterboo, but end of the day, I thought their defense played great in the second half, and I'm expecting a tight, like sort of like that Notre Dame game last night, like around that score, around that number mark.
You can feel that way.
How do you feel, Dane? Because you came in and you motivated us.
Billy Bell's got me fired
That's
up,
what I'm
man.
saying. Tell these people what you think is going on.
What kind of pregame talk is that? I think it's probably going to be a close game. Real tight one, real down to the. No, I think you come out like you did the past 2 weeks. I mean, I think watching the Rose Bowl and a lot of the talk, which was fair afterwards, was about how well the players played. Was about Jeremiah Smith's like, look at this dude lighting the world on fire. How the way Chip Kelly in the past 2 games has been putting his guys in advantageous positions, whether it is the offensive line, this isn't a run downhill, just smoke you. They've been giving these guys angles by design. They've been doing misdirection by design. You know, you can say, obviously, Jeremiah Smith is one of the most talented players in the country. Still wasn't touched on 2 of his touchdowns. That's design. Yes. That's like you won when you lined up, pulled your motion, and snapped the ball. It was done. So, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is like this relationship between Chip Kelly and Ryan Day, finding this, synergy that's now working and putting these guys in positions that they are scoring untouched. In that Oregon game, okay, we're up 34-0 at one point. It's not like you can remember a play where it was a guy was like boom, 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 knocked off 3 tackles, did it all himself.
Just Jeremiah's jet sweep, the first one. That was it.
Didn't get touched, though. I mean, that's a design play that they see this in film. This is how they're going to react to this defense. All right, we're going to run motion here, bring him back over. There's nobody for him. And there was nobody for him. So, I mean, obviously we come at them hard when it's like, why weren't we throwing the ball? Why weren't we running the ball? But, like, when they're doing it like this, obviously they're going to say it's all the players. But, man, they've been in some good positions these last 2 games.
No doubt about it. Let's hear from Coach Day on what has clicked for his team coming out of that Michigan loss.
When they're playing at their best, they're playing for each other. And I think the second thing is there's great stories individually within this team and collectively as a team. But the only way that the story is told about your team is if you win. That's the reality. And so I think they realize that. I think it's a resilient group, and I think they know where they are right now. They know the opponent. I think we're focused on the opponent, but ultimately it comes down to our execution.
Texas is a team that you look at their journey to get to this point, 38-24 against Clemson, 39-31 against Arizona State, and that took 2 overtimes to take out the Sun Devils. Ohio State right now is clearly the biggest jump in talent that they faced, I think, all year and definitely throughout this journey, and there's a familiar face that's playing quarterback for them in Quinn Ewers. And here's a guy that you look at him the last few games, he's thrown some picks over the time. in that time frame there. But he's also a guy, too, that I don't think has necessarily lived up to what he was supposed to be coming out of college. He's been good. He's been really good. But what he was touted as was a superstar quarterback that could be a number one overall pick type of guy.
So I always push back on these high school predictions. Like, who said this?
Well, I'm just saying that was the narrative around him coming out of high school and all that stuff. What you're saying is real. I totally say that. But I'm just saying the buzz around Quinn Ewers over the last few years, he hasn't necessarily matched that, but he is no doubt a quarterback that you have to respect because he does have arm talent, but he's caught himself in situations this year to where his play has been inconsistent and a guy that they haven't necessarily been able to rely on week in and week out.
Yeah, I think Quinn is the second best quarterback we're going to play this year. I think Dylan Gabriel was the best quarterback in terms of decision making, getting the ball out. But what we were able to do to him on the defensive side of the ball, in terms of pressure him, I don't think that's what Texas is going to do. I don't think they're just going to roll Quinn out there. You know why? Because they got Archie Manning, and the one thing Ohio State hasn't faced this year was a running quarterback. There's going to be an Archie Manning pulled zone read pick. Yeah, with Nico. But I don't think he's not a better runner than Archie, I don't think.
To your point, they struggle with it.
They did.
A little bit they did struggle. It was there.
I just think Manning's going to have a package tonight.
Well, that's a really good point, too, because that was something noticeably absent from the Rose Bowl. Gabriel didn't run the ball, I think, one time. You remember the first time we played them in Eugene? He
killed us with it.
Killed us. I mean, it's like something that Ohio State has struggled with. So I think you're right. You very well might see a little bit of that. It's not going to be Quinn, but if you see Arch come in, I'd have my antenna up about that.
And he's a talented runner. And I just think for this Ohio State defense, okay, if I'm Texas OC, what wrinkle can I throw in this back-to-back, week? Arch Manning wrinkle. And so I think we'll see Quinn. But I also expect some Archie just to throw our team off a little bit, just like how we saw Alex Orji at the end of the Michigan game last year. He had a couple plays. We were like, whoa, this guy, who is this guy? He picked up 2 first downs when we went up there. So I just hope our defense prepare for them in that way. But I do believe this Texas team, Sarkisian, they are a staff, and these players believe they're a national championship team. They're bringing Texas back into the light and back to the national championship picture. So we're going against a team who has nothing to lose, and they're going to end up in the Natty if we don't play like we played the last 2
No doubt.
weeks.
Coming up next, Adam King, the man that sits on the Iron Throne at 10 TV, will stop by, and we will also hit you with our One Tough Animals for this week. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Looking for the perfect car? Drive like a champion with Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Featuring a vast selection of Mercedes-Benz, Ineos, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. We have the new or pre-owned vehicle you've been dreaming of. Experience exceptional car care and top-notch customer service at prices that can't be beat. With competitive deals and exclusive special offers, there's never been a better time to visit. Your road to adventure starts here. Crown Automotive Group of Dublin, where the journey begins. Find us on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Catch your dream car today.
The Meijer 7 for $7 sale is back for a limited time. Pay $1 each when you mix or match any 7 or more on participating items, like bags of avocado minis, 1.25 liters of Coca-Cola products, plus deposit where applicable, Dannon or Chobani Greek yogurt, Kraft mac and cheese, and Meijer brand frozen vegetables. Save a good deal more with the Meijer 7 for $7 sale. That's the good life. Exclusions apply. See the Meijer app for details.
Hey, it's Anthony. I know what you didn't receive as a gift, a new pair of feet. But I know how you can feel like you did. Get to the Good Feet store. That's because they're going to help you eliminate your foot pain. And not by just throwing some insoles into your shoes and sending you on your way. They'll make it very personal. They asked me about my daily activities, the type of pain that brought me in, and they properly measured my feet and arch size. You're not done. It's test walk time. Once you're fitted at the Good Feet store, they're going to put those arch supports right into your own shoes. You can immediately feel the difference they make with every step. And then it's the best time. Start enjoying the comfort immediately. You'll walk out wearing your new arch supports hassle-free and begin living the life you love without pain. The Good Feet store has helped many people relieve their pain, me included. No waiting required. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA. The Good Feet store. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City, or goodfeet.com.
We have a lot of football happening. I'm here to help. Set your radio preset to the Fan. Very good. Now set the second one to ESPN Columbus. It's the HD2 button. Lastly, go to the Fan's HD3 and save the Fan 3. Crisis averted. You're welcome.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford. That means we got the car you need at the price you want. But don't take it from me. Hear it from
Ohio State captain Travion Henderson.
Reichert has what I'm looking for.
Defensive star Jack Sawyer.
Grew up watching these guys on TV. My family's bought tons of cars for them.
Cody Simon.
You get the right car at Reichert. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including all-wheel drive versions of the best-selling Corolla. Now through February 3rd, get low-rate financing on a Corolla or lease a gas-powered 25 Corolla LE for $229 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Can you smell it?
If you smell
Buckeye football is in the air. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors. Also presented by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Here's Matty Ice. The Fan's one tough animal.
All right, welcome back in. You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show on the Fan and watching on 10 TV. DeVier, Posey, Dane, Sanzenbacher. I'm Matty Ice, and now to my left, I got the man that sits on the Iron Throne at 10 TV. He stopped by earlier this week because it's a big game. Adam King's in the house. AK, happy game day, man. How you doing?
I thought we were wearing suits, guys. What the heck? I thought
you look great.
Well, I thought we were doing suits and ties. Apparently not. So now I'm just. I'll go change. I apologize. That's on me. That's on me.
Well, Adam, we were surprised to see you, man. You're here.
I'm here. I'm ready. It's game day.
Man, this is the first away game with you, and I'll be honest. I would normally ask you how are the guys doing, but I want to ask you now, like just leading up into this week. Obviously, these guys are confident, but like outside of confidence. From the last 2 weeks, what has really changed? Like since the Michigan game, what do you like? I know the scores are obviously the scores, but what changed inside that locker room?
They had that meeting. That meeting changed everything. I mean, they've been very open about the fact that they stood in the team room and looked at each other and said, what went wrong? What happened? How did we just lose to Michigan for the 4th straight year? And how do we make sure that we don't let this pass us by? You know, I was standing on the field at the Rose Bowl when they were celebrating, and I heard a couple of the guys behind me saying, we got rings. We got hardware. Finally. We got hardware.
That's amazing.
And that's what this is about. Now, my favorite part, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer that Ohio State put out. The ending of the trailer for the Cotton Bowl is job's not finished. And that was what we heard so much this week. I heard from Caleb Downs the second I was done talking with him at the Rose Bowl. I said, how much do you celebrate and when do you turn your attention to Texas? And he said, game's over. What are you talking about? I'm on to Texas. I'm like, okay, well, that's That's a good mindset to have.
On to the next one.
Is he scary serious, Caleb Downs? I get that vibe from him.
He's a business.
He's a great guy, but he is a businessman. He knows what he's doing. He's here to win football games, and that's, I think, just kind of his persona. Very much like Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles, great guy.
Yeah.
He's all business.
Like
man.
Marshawn Lynch. They're just about that action, boss.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
all
here
they're
to play
for.
football and win football games.
Let's get to our one tough animal, Dane. You're ready to go. You're going to lead this off this week. Your one tough animal is whom?
I have a proposal for you guys.
All right, what do you got?
We changed the name of this segment to One Tough Scattaboo.
Absolutely.
There's never been an animal performance like we saw last week. This guy, what do you have? 143 yards on like 30 carries, pretty much put Arizona State on his back and told the camera he was doing it.
He won the player of the game.
He threw a touchdown pass, too.
What was that?
Here's the line.
He can pass. Yeah.
You watch Friday Night Lights.
I thought you'd never ask. And he can, he was Booby Miles out there. Yeah. That was the toughest performance, and he's getting beat up. And did he throw up on the sideline?
Yes, he did. Just straight
Come
up.
on,
Yes,
man.
he did. I think he waited for the camera.
He
said, the camera's on me. All right, it's time.
He did.
All in favor for One Tough Scattaboo. I don't think I have to.
I can rock with that. I
don't think I have to describe. That dude was an animal.
Did you ever just straight up throw up on the sideline?
No.
Dane was in shape. Dane was in shape.
No, you throw up in workouts, so you don't have to throw up on the
There you
sideline.
go.
I got a question.
The complete box score for Cam Scattaboo last week against Texas. 30 carries, $143, 2 touchdowns, as you mentioned. 8 receptions for 99 yards. And then, as Depot mentioned, 1 throw for 42 yards and a touchdown. The dude, listen.
And he's got a head like Barry Bonds.
He is
that
an
guy's
absolute
head is,
machine.
That was a rush.
He's a
rush
machine.
hour
Player
reference
of
to
the
beer.
game on the losing team. I don't know that I've ever seen that, at least in college
Who
football.
else were you going to pick?
That's
I
a
guess
good
you could have
point.
picked Quinn Ewers, but that dude was just absolutely
Yeah, I mean, that was
on.
something, man.
He's a dog. He is. Depot, you want tough animal?
We all say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Jeremiah Smith. Yep, Adam, you didn't even know. You knew.
He was in the building for it.
Okay.
He was in the building
I watched
for
it happen.
7
Absolutely.
catches, $187, 2 touchdowns.
Just give him the ball.
The highlight where he dunks on 2 guys on the sideline was just absolutely silly. I mean, he's a pro. He's an absolute pro right now. Dan Lanning said it after the game. Like, this dude's NFL ready. Right
He
now.
would be the
It's
top
crazy.
overall pick.
Right now.
And
Todd
that's
McShay
insane.
said the
He's
same
a
thing.
freshman.
Yeah, he's a freshman. Todd McShay said, I don't know, Dane, if you heard that or we talked about it. I played it for you on the show where you filled in. He said if he could enter this year's draft, he would be the number 1 overall pick.
Think about what you were doing at 18, Ice. Think about that. It wasn't starring out at the Rose Bowl.
No.
Nope.
No, it was not.
Nowhere near this.
No. Just hanging out at the movie theater.
Drinking 4 Locos.
That's me and Dane. I was 19. Dane was 20. We started in the Rose Bowl. But I feel
did you
guys
play in the Rose Bowl? I didn't know we were talking about 2009.
It was 2010. January 1st.
Year, all right?
Yeah.
But no, and also my one tough animal, I'm going to go with Jeremiah Love. And here's the reason. Didn't have a crazy stat line last night.
Yeah.
But the man injured his knee against Georgia. He's out there with an offensive lineman knee brace. Ask Dane. If I see a DB with the knee brace, it's an immediate emergency huddle. Hey, guys, the guy's guarding me has on a knee brace. Right? Like emergency huddle.
It's
Throw me the ball, Terrell.
It's like, hey, the guy's guarding me has
Look
a
at
knee
his
brace. He had his knee. I'm not getting guarded by a guy with a knee. Jeremiah Love was running the ball, making big plays. And the thing is, I think when you look at why this Notre Dame team made it to the national championship, when you look back in history, I think, and everybody goes to the pros, I think Jeremiah Love might shake out to be the best back in this class. And
I'll tell you this.
I know it sounds crazy.
Just to add to your picking him, did you hear what he said about Ohio State?
That was my next week.
That's a dog right there.
I wanted to highlight that. Go
He
ahead.
said,
Adam. Yeah.
I want to play Ohio State because I want to play the best and I want to beat the best to win the
And they
national
beat us.
title.
And they beat us 2 years. They beat us 2 years. So
Careful.
I said,
That's
careful, young man.
Dane is in a different
Dane.
mood. Are
Because
you
I don't want to
playing
hear
tonight?
it. I don't want to hear it. Well, 1, I watch Friday Night Lights. I am fired up. 2, everybody in here hedging their bets. Like, I don't know. It's going to be a close game. I don't know. What are we going to see? Careful, young man. You want to see him?
The fire
Okay.
behind Dane's eyes.
Okay.
He may get on a plane to Dallas.
That's why I thought that's some animal behavior.
Yeah.
You wearing a knee brace, calling out Ohio State. You're an
your
animal.
point, to what you're saying, a lot of those guys felt the pain of losing to Ohio State. Kyle McCord drives down the field. Was it
Think about Lorenzo Styles. He knows these guys.
All of those guys, right? But I'm with Dane. Let the sleeping giant sleep.
We want Bama talk?
This is not the door I think you want to knock on right now. Listen, Ohio State's got to handle business.
Yep.
But with the way the Scarlet and Gray are cooking right now, okay. I don't know if you want to keep adding fuel to that fire here in Columbus. So
and with that conversation, we have special guest Bodie Wells here. Bodie, any comment?
Bodie's riding high right now.
Oh my! I've never seen him walk with that strut around
Bodie
the
said,
studio.
He's not touching the ground. He's floating.
He said, I can't even believe it right now. It doesn't even feel real.
He walked in. They were playing Here Comes the Irish. I was like, what is happening?
This could be the year for Bodie, though. His Celtics won the championship in the NBA, and now he's 4 quarters away from a natty.
Easy Tiger. Easy Tiger.
He did have the Cowboys.
Luckily, the Irish has to run out at some point.
In the spirit, though, of one tough animal, aside from the comment, what I like about your pick, though, is because he had a tough animal moment. See, it's not like the stat line that wins you one tough animal. That touchdown, you just did it, Adam. Where he took on everybody, still stayed up
It's
on
a
the knee
behavior,
brace.
not a stat. It's behavior.
It's animalistic behavior.
Gentlemen, we're on television. You got a show,
and that
not
was
tell.
that was animal. That was animal behavior.
Here's what we're going to do. We'll take a break to get to the top of the hour. When we come back, you'll hear from Jim Knowles. He talks about Cody Simon and why the defense has been locked in for the second half of the year. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for my team at Valley Ford of Columbus. 2025 is here, and as a real Valley Ford customer, I urge you to get online to see all the New Year's savings at valleyfordofcolumbus.com. Ford F-150, Bronco Sports, Mustang, Mach-E's. Valley has the massive selection to choose from, plus the lease and financing deals that have you rolling into 2025 with huge savings. Go to valleyfordofcolumbus.com today for all the details. That's valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
It's the new year. Time to make a positive change in your life.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted. Not available in Washington State.
Hi, this is Bob Capacci from Worthington Jewelers. We realize that big box jewelry stores aren't for everyone. Some people prefer friendly, locally run stores. No pressure and non-commissioned salespeople who work with you to create a great buying experience. At Worthington Jewelers, we work with you as an individual, not a number or just a sale. And if it means customizing your ring or taking jewelry in on trade, no one does it better than Worthington Jewelers.
Worthington Jewelers.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Buddy Wells. Last night at the Orange Bowl in the first of the two college football playoff semifinal games, a last-minute interception by Christian Gray helped set up a last-second 41-yard field goal by Mitch Jeter as Notre Dame defeated Penn State 27-24, and the Fighting Irish advanced to next Monday night's national championship game in Atlanta. Who will Notre Dame play? We'll find that out tonight, of course, as Ohio State takes on Texas down in Arlington at the Cotton Bowl. The Buckeyes and Longhorns will kick off at 7:30 tonight. Network coverage with Paul Keels, Jim Lachey, Matt Andrews, and Skip Mossick will get started at 6 o'clock right here on The Fan. In the NFL, the wild card round of the playoffs will get started tomorrow at 4:30. The Chargers are on the road against the Texans. And then at 8 o'clock, it's Pittsburgh on the road for an AFC North matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. This update is sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus. The best Broncos sports selection is at the official dealership of Carnell Tate. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors. Also presented by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Getting you ready for another Buckeye victory. Here's Matty Ice.
Welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. DeVier, Posey, Dane, Sanzenbacher, and the man that sits on the Iron Throne at 10 TV, Adam King, AK, in the house, getting you ready for Ohio State and Texas. Out in Jerry's world, this defense right now is nasty, man.
Cody Simon.
Let's get to Cody Simon. I'm glad you brought him up. Here's Jim Knowles on how Cody has had a nice journey to get to this point and how locked in he is at the moment.
Cody, my first 2 years here, wasn't a starter. You know, in this day of transfer portal, I mean, he's a guy that could have easily, I mean, he could have been a starter. I mean, he was as good as Tommy and Steele and moved around and played different things and never complained, never said a word. You know, he's really an old school guy when it comes to being a football player.
Double-digit tackles, 3 out of the last 4 games. The one game where he didn't have double-digit tackles, he had 9. This dude has really stepped up and become a leader, but on that second level, he is just flying around and making plays all over the place, and you can just feel his presence week in and week out with what he's able to do right now down there in that front 7.
It was probably tough to be the Ohio State defense. They have been so good, but they had to ride this wave like everybody else and the whole team of either criticism or whatever it may be, because they're with it. I mean, you lost to Michigan too. Did they? They played, man. Like, but and they have continued to show up. So I mean, I love where they're at now. That Tennessee game was the first time not the first time, they've been playing really well, but when we went up 21-0, offense was impressive, but I looked at the defense, and after that, I was like, there's no way we're giving up 22 points. This is over. I mean, like, I'm not stressed. Now, we'll see where it goes from this, but this defense, it's done. They're not clawing back into this game.
I'll say this. The Oregon 34-0 start, 34 is impressive. The zero was amazing.
Yep.
You want to talk about an answer? These guys went to Eugene, and that game, it looked like they were Swiss cheese. They couldn't do a thing to stop Oregon. So how do they respond in a game? They've got no sacks, and they get no pressure on Dylan Gabriel. They get 8 sacks. That's ridiculous. 8 times they took that man down.
After not having a single sack the first time they played.
After not having a single sack. That's an answer. And you're right. The second, that's what I wonder with Texas tonight is what's the number? What number, if the offense puts up, is there no world where Quinn Ewers and Texas
Where's the point of no return? What number do you see where they can't do that? They can't get there.
I don't think they can get past 21. That's my number.
I like that. I did want to comment on Jim Knowles on Cody Simon because I think in terms of you talk about James Laurinaitis becoming a linebacker coach this year, and the tree that James Laurinaitis comes from is a Luke Fickell tree. And in terms of what Luke Fickell has been able to do, talent developing, he's one of the best in the history. Because, like those 2 guys behind you, AJ, Bobby, Raekwon, Ryan Shazier, I think Cody Simon is going to be James Laurinaitis' first high draft pick. He embodies what it would be to be like James on the field. He's a mirror of the same type of leader that James was. He didn't have the long runway in the career that James had, but you talk about that coach and that player relationship and that growth that Cody took this year. Cody's going to be a second, third, maybe first round draft pick when you really turn the film on and see all the things that he can do. And I just believe, the last couple linebackers we had drafted, Tommy Eichenberg, Pete Warren, I think it was, and before that, it was Jerome Baker. Mm-hmm. I think Cody is better than all those guys.
I would agree.
And I think he's better than all those guys.
And those guys, Pete, Jerome Baker, those are guys that have gotten second contracts in the NFL. They're still playing at a high level. The Fan Pregame Show is presented by KeyBank. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Let's hear from Jim Knowles because right now he's got a defensive line that's playing with their hair on fire. Here he is on that unit.
Guys are cutting it loose. You get down to the end and they want to keep playing together. They don't want it to stop. And, sometimes when you get to these moments of your career, and we have veterans, there's always that little bit extra level. You can turn it. That's human nature, right? There's always you think you've given it all until everything's on the line, and then you see, okay, wow, I do have an extra gear, so I think you're seeing some of that.
I said this week with AR that this has been the first time for me in a couple years where I felt that energy from a defensive line that was similar to Chase Young and when the Boasters were here. Not saying that these guys right now will be those guys, but as far as the game-wrecking juice that they brought when they were here, the last couple of weeks, that's the first time where I felt it consistently. JTT is always going to have that Penn State game. Jack's put together some nice games throughout his career, but right now, those 2 guys, and even Tyleek, I thought had a good game last week in the middle of that defensive line. The numbers may not show it, but they're getting home. And that's been a narrative around this defensive line the last couple of years is where are the sacks? And right now they're getting to these quarterbacks and putting them in the turf. And JT and Jack are just so locked in.
Do you think the starting defensive line got mad when they tried that package of a stand-up linebacker? Because we saw that. What week was that? Iowa? We just saw the defense do something they came out in the 3-down front with a stand-up linebacker, and then we didn't really see it much after that.
Well,
but the play from the original D-line rose. It got a lot better after that package got put in.
There is ever a place to stand up and shout from the mountaintops about disrespect, it's the defensive line.
Absolutely.
What Jack and JT were dealing with, think about after the Michigan game. They only gave up 10 points in that game, and people were treating them like they cost them the game.
Got a game-winning pick on the goal line.
That was supposed to be his moment. That was supposed to hang in the studio here, was Jack picking him off. And instead, everyone's like, these guys are trash. They've never done anything. I think I saw that they're tied for 3rd all-time in sacks in a season for Ohio State. We have gotten so wrapped up, and it's not just about sacks. The pressures, too. Mm-hmm. They are making life so tough for those quarterbacks.
Well, they haven't had any holding calls.
That's ridiculous.
Have you seen this video, Dane?
Yeah.
I got to show you this video. It's like a orchestra music, but they just have
You're going to show them orchestra videos? We're talking football.
I'm fired up. I can't wait till this show is over so he can show me. I'll contain my excitement.
It's the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's beautiful.
I can't wait to show.
They have a highlight.
I don't even know if I want to let you finish because I just want to let. It's almost so close to just cutting you off because it's just letting this linger.
Just let it linger. Here we go.
All right, go ahead.
They have a tape of all of the holds from that were just blatantly not called.
You're talking the Oregon game real quick.
No. all year.
The season.
Go back and look at how they're the last ranked team in terms of drawing holding calls in America.
It is true.
For one of the best defensive lines all time in Ohio State, they haven't had a holding call?
Jack hasn't been
They're getting blocked?
In, like I think it's like 1,000 reps. I don't know what.
That he hasn't had a holding call.
It's wild.
And it's a lie.
And it's all of this, and it's to near, far, that beautiful orchestra
I'm going to show you guys a video.
It's amazing.
Just fired up about that one.
Yeah.
AK, you know what this reminds me of, though? You're saying, like these guys aren't getting the respect. Reminds me of Coach Gary Gaines from the Permian Panthers.
Talk to him. Here we go.
He said, you know what? I learned a long time ago. There ain't much difference between winning and losing. Besides how the outside world treats you.
Mm-hmm.
Truth, Gary Gaines. Yeah. Not that much different than what you're doing. Outside world treats you. You winner, you're a winner. You're a loser, you all stink.
Dane, every time
I just think you guys need to dip back into Friday Night Lights. That was like 2003. These guys are dropping knowledge.
Is it really 2003?
Something like that. Booby with NIL. Booby said I didn't. Booby said I get straight A's. I'm an athlete.
You would have been acting.
You think I got to practice this? God-given. Best quote ever.
I think I feel bad for the viewer and listener right now because you can't properly just encapsulate how fired up Dane is.
The thing is,
I
mean it.
Like
I'm looking right through you.
I'm scared.
Because I'm tired of it, You guys come in here, you're hedging. I don't know.
That was DeVier.
DeVier's talking about the backup quarterback. Said Arch Manning. You better be careful.
Arch Manning's Tom Brady.
Arch Manning's going to come in Ohio State.
Our job is to create narratives. We're not supposed to be.
Your job is not to create narratives. That's the problem.
We're not supposed to be. Yeah, I know. I feel like Ohio State is going to win. Yeah, but we got to.
Arch got you spooked a little bit.
Yeah, we got to prepare. If I'm Jim No, if I'm on his staff,
it's something you absolutely prepare
Jim,
for.
Hey, man, I made this cut-ups of Arch pulling the ball.
It's beautiful orchestra music.
We might need to throw these in on like 5 other scout team cards this week. Let's just prep it. That's all I'm saying. Let's just be prepared if he comes in the game.
Dane is not having
They're on fire.
Let's just be prepared if he comes in the game. Throw 5 cards on the scout team cards. Let somebody put a wide receiver in. Let him wear a 16 jersey. Let him pull the ball. Let's just prepare.
Before we let you go, your schedule the rest of the night. Where can the folks see you?
So I don't know. Just keep it on 10 TV here. We've got a full pregame show going on, starting at 4 o'clock, running all the way up till 7 o'clock. We're gonna lead you into that Cotton Bowl game. Then post game, Dane Sanzenbacher, who is already wearing a Cotton Bowl winner's shirt under that sweatshirt.
I'm going to put a suit on and get on there with AK on the TV. He's going
to put a suit on and get on there with AK on the TV. I do want to say, the man on the Iron Throne thing.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that Will Howard said the North remembers and now Emeka said winter's coming?
They might be listening.
They're buying in. I think they're big, avid listeners.
They might be listening.
Mm-hmm.
This is Game of Thrones referencing.
See, you're going to get him on here. He's anti-Game
He's
of
on
Thrones.
his phone. He's looking at orchestra videos.
I'm trying to find this video, but I support Game of Thrones.
Behind Enemy Lines is coming up next. You'll hear from David Eckert, who covers Texas for the Statesman. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan pregame show right here on The Fan.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Tri-State Men's Health today. Because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Tri-State Men's Health will give you back your sex life. Because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Looking for the perfect car? Drive like a champion with Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Featuring a vast selection of Mercedes-Benz, Ineos, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. We have the new or pre-owned vehicle you've been dreaming of. Experience exceptional car care and top-notch customer service at prices that can't be beat. With competitive deals and exclusive special offers, there's never been a better time to visit. Your road to adventure starts here. Crown Automotive Group of Dublin, where the journey begins. Find us on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Catch your dream car today.
Hi, I'm Laura De Leon, president of Key Bank in Central Ohio. Here at Key, we believe in providing a helping hand in our community. While helping hands are wonderful, a helping bank is even better. That's a bank committed to solving people's financial needs, but it doesn't stop there. We advocate, we support, we listen, and we volunteer. That's a bank that is always ready to meet you in the moment. Key Bank opens doors.
Key Bank, member FDIC.
Morning Juice.
There's got to be a degree of personal accountability for punting and kicking. That is your job. When you look over, those guys are over there playing grab ass in the corner.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including the best-selling Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through February 3rd, get 4.99 APR financing on Camry or lease a Camry LE from just $289 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Stock up now on fresh Heritage Farm boneless chicken breasts. They're on sale for $2.49 a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Cheer on the home team tonight and then take advantage of these great deals from Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is sticking with rates starting as low as 0%. You've got to experience the future today with the Honda Prologue, the all-new, all-electric SUV. Saw one yesterday, beautiful. Or drive home in a CR-V LX all-wheel drive for $349 a month, 36-month lease with only $19.99 due at signing. Go check out these amazing details with my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It is cold and dry out there right now, and we are looking at a little bit of snowfall later on this evening, thinking between 4 and 6 p.m. A quick inch or two is expected. Heading into this evening, watch out for any slick roads out there. Saturday, look for snow flurries with a high of 29. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Have you already started your tailgate? Us too. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. This is the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And also presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors.
Here's the quarterback of our team. That's really dumb. Matty Ice. The fans behind enemy lines.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers. Visit your local Central Ohio Ford dealer today.
Welcome back in. Behind Enemy Lines this week is going to be brought to you by David Eckert, who covers Texas for The Statesman. My man AR and I caught up with him on Rothman and Ice. Here's that interview for you now.
All right, we're going to take you to AT&T Stadium, bottom of the hour. Both coaches, dual presser. Maybe a little bit of a, if we could get a boxing match out of it, Matty, somebody throws out something, and, the crew kind of holds everybody back. That'd be great. Not expecting it. Our guy who's very nice enough to join us, David Eckert, who covers Texas football at the Statesman. He is with us now on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Dave, you're doing a lot of good work here in C-Bus. We appreciate you. Give me your best take on Quinn Ewers in a big game. He had such a massive moment against Arizona State, and I wonder if that was against a bigger brand, whether it would have been a bigger story. I mean, the guy looked pretty calm, 4th and 13, has to deliver that pass, then delivers in the extra time, but he's got this game that has a little bit of recent history for him, being an Ohio State former Buckeye. But give me your take on big game Quinn Ewers. What do you expect tomorrow night?
Yeah, the one aspect of that 4th and 13 play too that I don't know if it's made it out of Austin and Texas sphere, I guess, but it's certainly being discussed a lot here. Is that Quinn changed the play at the line of scrimmage on that 4th and 13 play. And he's done that a couple of times very successfully. He created a couple of rushing touchdowns with audibles against Clemson. So I think Quinn's biggest asset, actually, I'll say he has two. One is he is not going to be, ruffled by the moment, right? This guy, he's got a low heart rate. He's very calm and collected. And the other is he's really smart. And I think we've kind of underrated that a little bit here in this market anyway, because, look, I mean, it's hard for a football fan and even a football reporter, I think, to know when a quarterback is changing the play at the line of scrimmage and doing it successfully. We kind of need somebody to tell us, if we're being honest, right? He's done that 3 times and created touchdowns off of it in the last couple of weeks for Texas. And maybe there have been some folks who have been crying out for Arch Manning, and you have to kind of question whether Arch, as inexperienced as he is able to do that. I think he's a big game quarterback for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. One of the matchups I think a lot of people are excited about is this Texas secondary that's been really good this year, going up against Ohio State's wide receiver room that we all know is elite. Talk us through the names that we need to know on the back end of this Texas defense and why those guys have been able to be so good this season.
Yeah, Jahdae Barron is the Thorpe Award winner. That goes to the best defensive back in the country. He's one of the corners, a 5th-year guy. He's a little bit undersized, but, he's really good at playing the ball. Just a stud. On the opposite side from him at corner is Malik Muhammad, who is not undersized. He's got just enormous wingspan. So NFL body, and he's been up and down. He kind of got exposed a little bit against Clemson. Clemson's got a stud freshman receiver who kind of took him to town a little bit. And then, they're going to play Jalen Gilbo at nickel, another solid veteran guy. And then they've got 2 experienced safeties, Michael Tass. He's a former walk-on here who has played himself into a starting role and, depending on the outlet, got some All-American recognition this year. He's a great story. And then beside him is Andrew Mikuba, who is kind of your classic hard-hitting run support safety, who they brought over from Clemson. He's an Austin native as well. So it's a good secondary, it is. But the caveat to that is they haven't been tested by that many great wide receivers. They missed out of the 10 guys who are at the top of the receiving yardage rankings in the SEC this year. They missed 8 of them. They didn't get to see Jordan Tyson, who was Arizona State's leading receiver last week. He was hurt. So they have not faced a challenge even approaching this year. So we're going to learn a lot, I think.
And if you even kind of sniff getting close to one, it was Klubnik throwing for 336 against them. Now, they won the game,
right?
But he kind of lit them up. Wasn't a great percentage, but he threw a lot, and he was completing a decent amount, and he had 3 touchdowns against them. So I guess you're exactly right. They just haven't faced an offense outside of maybe Clemson that would really scare you this season, correct?
Yeah, no, I'm 100% agreement. And even if you look at like the good teams that they saw, Georgia, and their offense was not, anything special this season. They saw them twice. Their best regular season win was probably at Texas A&M. Marcel Reed had some good games, but clearly he was, I don't think ready to meet that moment for the Aggies. And so, yeah, I mean, that Clemson game really stands alone as, all right, this is a good to very good passing attack, that Texas has seen this season. So they kind of said afterward that with the win in tow, that they're kind of glad that they got to experience it, that they're going to learn from it. And I guess we'll kind of find out how much they learn.
We've got 2 really good true freshmen in this game. On your side of things, it's Colin Simmons. On Ohio State's side of things, it's Jeremiah Smith. Colin Simmons just seemed like a guy that's been around quarterbacks all season long, just creating so much static down there within the pocket. Talk about him and this Texas D line and, the pressure Ohio State's offensive line is going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, Colin Simmons is a stud. He's one away from double-digit sacks. I mean, he doesn't start, guys. I mean, he comes off the bench. He's kind of – I wouldn't quite call him a pass rush specialist, maybe pass rush specialist adjacent, and he's just been uber productive. The guy who I expect to start in that right end spot is going to be Trey Moore, who was – to be totally honest, horrible for 8 weeks, but he's been great since then. Alfred Collins is, for my money, one of the 2 or 3 best defensive tackles in college football. He's a complete stud. Vernon Broughton's been really good. And then Barron Sorrell on the left end has been great. And the big thing, though, for Texas is they're just so deep. They don't have to run these guys out there for 75% of the snaps. So you're going to see a ton of rotation. You're going to see line changes at defensive line. So that's really how I expect them to kind of attack this, especially considering Ohio State in the run game, they're able to kind of keep things fresh as well. With Judkins and Henderson, I think Texas is going to try to do the same on the defensive line.
Sounds good, man. Good breakdown. Very honest, candid stuff from our friend David Eckert, Austin Statesman, covering the Longhorns. All right, enjoy it, my man. We'll see if it's a 4-quarter game. We'll find out tomorrow. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Behind Enemy Lines is sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers. Visit your local Central Ohio Ford dealer today. Coming up next, who's got the heat? We'll apply some pressure to some guys around college football and maybe even the NFL this week with the playoffs right around the corner. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including the best-selling RAV4. Now through February 3rd, get 4.99 APR financing on new gas-powered 24 or 25 RAV4s. Or lease a gas-powered 25 RAV4 LE for $339 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Replace your furnace with Logan AC and Heat Services. Get a free Trane furnace with the purchase of an air conditioner and 0% APR financing for 72 months. Get a free indoor air quality product when you schedule your installation by the end of the month. We offer a system for every home and every budget. And with same-day estimates and next-day installation, it's hard to stop a Trane. Schedule your free estimate now and get fast, friendly service from Logan Services.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Hi, this is Bob Capacci from Worthington Jewelers. We realize that big box jewelry stores aren't for everyone. Some people prefer friendly, locally run stores. No pressure and non-commissioned salespeople who work with you to create a great buying experience. At Worthington Jewelers, we work with you as an individual, not a number or just a sale. And if it means customizing your ring or taking jewelry in on trade, no one does it better than Worthington Jewelers.
Worthington Jewelers. Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Every hockey player dreams of a hat trick.
And if you've ever seen one, you know it's a thrill when the hats hit the ice.
And now, it's hats off to Honda Marysville, because this season, every time a Blue Jacket scores a hat trick at Nationwide Arena,
Honda Marysville will give one lucky fan a 2-year lease on a new Honda Civic Sport on the spot.
So come to a game and cheer us on. Who knows?
A new car from Honda Marysville might be closer than you think.
Official rules at HondaMarysville.com/hat trick.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
For 100 years, our passion at Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
Brought to you by Valley Ford of Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Buddy Wells. It's a football Friday, and it's game day number 3 of the postseason for Ohio State. As tonight, the Buckeyes take on Texas at the Cotton Bowl in the semifinals of the college football playoffs. Our pregame coverage here on the Fan will take you right up to the network coverage, which will also get started at 6 o'clock right here on the Fan. Kickoff in Arlington is at 7:30. The other of the 2 semifinal games took place last night in Miami. That's where Notre Dame rallied out of a 10-0 early first-half deficit, and the Fighting Irish came from behind to beat Penn State 27-24 in the Orange Bowl. Now, next Monday night in Atlanta, it'll be Notre Dame against tonight's Ohio State-Texas winner for the national championship. In hockey, the Blue Jackets won their 3rd game in a row last night as they beat the Kraken 6-2 at Nationwide Arena. Next up, the CBJ are on the road tomorrow night. That's where they'll face the Blues in St. Louis. This update is sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus, your F-150 headquarters and the official dealership of Carnell Tate. Breaking sports news, what happens right here on The Fan.
Can you smell it?
If you smell
Buckeye football is in the air. You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors. Also presented by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Here's Matty Ice. As you prepare for another Buckeye football Saturday, one very important question remains. Who's got the heat?
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Let Logan Services bring the heat to your home this season. Free same-day estimates, next day installation. Logan Services.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, Dane, Sanzenbacher, DeVier, Posey, getting you ready for Ohio State and Texas. I'm putting the heat on the Texas secondary. Specifically, Jahdae Barron, who's a dog. This dude can absolutely go. Depot brought him up earlier. He won the Jim Thorpe Award. So he's a guy you have to respect. But we know Ohio State right now is firing off on all cylinders. The play calling is very aggressive. They're going to the aerial attack more times than not. Here's Jahdae Barron talking about defending Ohio State's wide receiver unit.
The whole receiver core, they're packed with a veteran quarterback that can get them the ball. They can get the ball in space on swing passes and things like that. A lot of deep shots and things like that, play actions. But, it's a fantastic offense they have going. So for our job, just to do our job and make sure we're dialed in our keys and doing our responsibility. And nobody has to be the hero. Just do your job, and ultimately that would be our success.
Depot, you mentioned it earlier when you brought up Barron that this may be a situation where he travels a lot with Jeremiah Smith to try to slow him down. Here he is on trying to defend the superstar freshman.
Yeah, he does a lot of special things. He's a big receiver, but he attacks the ball. He has good strong hands, good route running. He's a double move guy and things like that. So all those are taking place in my head on the process. But football it's 11 people. We have a D-line, tremendous D-line that's going to put pressure on the quarterback. So that'll help up and mess up the timing and things like that. So it's a lot of things that are going into a football game. But the opportunity is going to be amazing in front of us.
Yeah, I was going to say they move him around a lot too, try to get.
Yeah, he goes outside in the slot and things like that. So it'll be an amazing opportunity for our guys and for me to go against them. So
in that clip that we just heard from Barron, he touched on their defensive line, and two of the best freshmen in the country are playing in this game, right? Jeremiah Smith, as we know, is just an absolute force, and on their side of things, they have Colin Simmons, who actually won the Freshman of the Year, a Freshman of the Year award, right, Depot? And he had 8-9 sacks this year as in true freshman in the SEC, so that'll be a fun matchup down there in the trenches. But, yeah, that's where my eyes are going to go right away, is to see what they do with Jeremiah and Emeka and whether Barron or not travels. So I'm putting the heat on Jahdae Barron.
My favorite part of that clip was to learn that Tim May talks over everybody, not just us.
He's in a Texas interview. It's just like he's covering Texas.
You're not letting that kid finish. Love to see it. Love to see it. I'm going to put the heat on Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
But because I think he is going to really have to show up. Every time Texas has struggled this year, it's when they've been forced to count on the passing game, and it hasn't worked out. If they've run the ball well, they've won. Mm-hmm. When they have struggled with running the ball, Georgia twice and Arizona State, they've had to try to rely on Quinn to carry them. It hasn't worked. Yeah. I would have to think, as it always is every game, Ohio State is going to do their best to smother the run game, to make you pass it. It's going to be on his shoulders. And I think for a lot of different reasons, obviously he has some familiarity with this program. But from what you said, too, I'm sure he feels like, well, the narrative around him is underperforming, right? Mm-hmm. I think he's a really good quarterback. I mean, I like how he plays, but I think there's a certain amount of heat on him in a game like this to step up. If he can win it, it would completely flip his legacy.
I like that. I actually had Quinn as one of my heat guys.
That's why I went first.
Yep. It's all good. I had a plan B, but I like that. And I think the heat is on him too, Dane, because he started his career here. He knows these guys. And it's like one of those things to where we've all played against a buddy across from us. And then I remember a story. I played against Brandon Sane on Sunday night. He was with the Packers. We're on punt. He's on punt. I'm on punt return. Never said a word. Brandon never talked. He quick sets me and slips. And I know how fast Brandon Sane is. Like, I've seen him win 3, like the Triple Crown in state. Dude took off on me, and I'm like, oh, we're not friends anymore right now. I gotta really block Brandon Sane, my dude. I've celebrated with in the end zone. When you see your boys across it just does something. Like that first, it's like, wait, hold up. I'm playing against my boys right now. I think that what might play into it for a little bit once he settles down. But I think he also has the heat on him too, because it's like this is a game where I just honestly think it's portal or draft. How he plays tonight. So I think he'll have to make that decision. But I'm going to go with Steve Sarkisian.
Okay.
And the reason why is, as an offensive coordinator, he's been in these positions at a shot as a national championship winning coach. This is his first time with a chance to win a natty as a head coach. Ryan Day has been here twice already. Ryan Day has experiences to draw from. Ryan Day has experiences to be like, hey, maybe I should have been aggressive in this moment. Maybe I should have tried to push the ball down the field versus Georgia on the last drive to get a better field goal. So Ryan Day is going to live from those experiences as a head coach. I think the pressure is off a day to day. I think it's on Sark. And then also, too, for what we've been talking about, Quinn goes out there. He's kind of, in the lights playing against his bros. Do you put Archie in? Right. Is this something to where you have a package for Archie where he's pulling the ball? I mean, we talked about how many yards he put up when he started when Quinn was out. You saw good production there. Is there a moment in this game where you're like, I'm like Nick Saban and I'm looking at Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, and is tonight that night for Sark? I think he's going to have to make that decision with the pressure of this Ohio State defense.
You're in a bad spot if you're Texas, if you got to make that decision, though. I think Ohio State would love to put them in the position like, okay,
you got to make a quarterback change.
Yeah, make a change or not.
No doubt about it. Who's Got the Heat is sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Let Logan Services bring the heat to your home this season. Free same-day estimates. Next day installation, Logan Services. When we come back, we'll hit you up with a little east to west. Our thoughts on what Penn State did last night against Notre Dame and where that program goes now moving forward, and our final thoughts on the Cotton Bowl between Ohio State and Texas. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Looking for the perfect car? Drive like a champion with Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Featuring a vast selection of Mercedes-Benz, Ineos, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. We have the new or pre-owned vehicle you've been dreaming of. Experience exceptional car care and top-notch customer service at prices that can't be beat. With competitive deals and exclusive special offers, there's never been a better time to visit. Your road to adventure starts here. Crown Automotive Group of Dublin, where the journey begins. Find us on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Catch your dream car today.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful, but don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
In a divorce, it's important to have a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell, a domestic litigation and family law firm. We champion your rights as an individual and your role as a parent, taking an aggressive approach in court while leveling the legal playing field in domestic matters. That's what a champion does. That's what Cordell & Cordell can do for you. Visit us at CordellCordell.com.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. Oh no, I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my two best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
The Buckeye Show.
When you have a guy that's as good as Jeremiah Smith is, we're just trying to come up with a sane place for our superlatives.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford. That means we got the car you need at the price you want. But don't take it from me. Hear it from
Ohio State captain Travion Henderson.
Reichert has what I'm looking for.
Defensive star Jack Sawyer.
Grew up watching these guys on TV. My family's bought tons of cars for them.
Cody Simon.
You get the right car at Reichert. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
You're listening to the Toyota Fan Pregame Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors. Also presented by Logan Services, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Getting you ready for another Buckeye victory. Here's Matty Ice. It's the Fan's East to West.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show. Matty Ice, DeVier, Posey, Dane, Sanzenbacher getting you ready for Ohio State and Texas out in Jerry's world. Penn State had it, fellas. Penn State, it was there for the taking.
I wanted to ask you about, because I knew Drew.
This was coming.
You sat there last night, and I was like, I got to ask Matty about Drew Aller. Because I know you stood on the table for Drew Aller.
It was a tough interception at the end. There's no denying that.
But I'll say this before I rip him. He's a sophomore, second-year starter, and he has room to grow.
He has room to grow.
I mean, he made it to the Final Four. Like, he can get better.
No question. But that interception was rough. And overall, he was just kind of mid yesterday, if I'm being completely honest. But I think
mid, nice, Matty.
I think he's making
for our young listeners.
Yeah, that was good.
I think he's making the right decision to come back next year for sure. But also, it's a situation where I think Penn State, they got to get better weaponry around him. Like, their offense was the running backs and then the tight end, drove a lot of their success throughout the air. But yeah, rough one for Penn State because you feel good about where they were early in the game, going into halftime and all those things, and Notre Dame ran them down, man. So one more Big Ten team standing, and that's Ohio State tonight against the Texas Longhorns. But for Penn State moving forward, this is the opportunity that they were waiting for, is this expanded playoff, right? Because they couldn't get over the Michigan hump, couldn't get over the Ohio State hump, and they found themselves right there in the semifinal of the college football playoff. So I still think it's something that they're probably proud of, but obviously nothing that you really want to write home about because you're so close to the Natty.
You know what it makes me think about, Matty?
What you got?
There was a coach one time down in Texas. He said, "There's not much difference between winning and losing, except how people treat you."
Oh, my goodness. It's true, though.
No, I think what Penn State needs, this is you guys both made really good points, and you hope they don't get lost because it's a big accomplishment for them to make the run that they've made this year.
It's a huge year.
It was, obviously made possible by the changing setup of the playoff, but great run. They put themselves in the conversation of being in the Final Four. You really hope that they can find a way because they have a talented team.
Yep.
Young quarterback that's got time to grow. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a dangerous program. And they have guys. Like, they've been able to accumulate talent. Their defense was really, really good this year. They didn't make the plays that they needed to. They hardly made any big plays on offense. The plays that they made in the Big Ten championship game. Like, they have guys capable of doing it. Mm-hmm. So what I hope doesn't get lost is that it's just a continued narrative in Happy Valley of James Franklin can't win a big game.
Do you think
that's what it will be.
Do you think he comes back, Dane? He gets another chance, right?
James Franklin?
Oh, if he wants? Oh, yeah. You say they're going to fire him?
I'm just saying, you think he comes back?
Yeah. I think he'll have a shot, but I'm saying that weight gets heavier and heavier as the narrative, regardless of what the team does. They could take it and say,
he's 1-18 versus top 5 teams.
See,
right
you
now.
go, media. There you go, media.
1-18.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what he's got to look out for.
That's what he has to work out. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, and maybe he's just that team is not on that level yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't broken through because they haven't found the combination of how to win those big games, or maybe there's a block and he just can't beat big teams. I don't know.
I got to give Matty Ice his credit because he said Penn State would be the team in the Big Ten that I believe will have a better season, if not just as good a season as Ohio State or something like that. You said
I said after Ohio State, for me, Penn State was the team within the conference that I thought could
and I think
go
it shook
far
out that
this
way.
year.
And I think it shook out that way. I mean, I don't know if they hang CFP Final Four banners like they hang, NCAA Final Four basketball banners, but they got a banner.
Yeah.
You got a banner, James. You good. But I do want to mention
Oregon be so mad if they hung these banners. Oregon be so mad. Like, how did Penn State get a banner? We didn't get a banner.
I don't even know if they do CFP Final Four banners.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to say I was for some reason Abdul Carter just stuck out to me yesterday because maybe it was because of LeVar Arrington was there and Micah Parsons was there and the whole Stick City
that
number
knee
11
was ruining every play.
That and I'm just like, and then I see. Well, you know what it was? I saw on Instagram they took a picture. He's bigger than LeVar Arrington and Micah Parsons, and I'm like, holy crap, this dude might be a top 5 pick.
Yeah, he's a dude, man.
He's really good.
Yeah, he is, and he wears number 11. And that number, as you know,
it's
over
a famous
there,
number.
It means so much to that program. So, yeah, just for Penn State, I think you hold your head high, man. It's a good year for them and what they were able to accomplish being a game away from playing for it all. You guys were talking earlier about Quinn Ewers, and you were highlighting, your mental space where you went up against Brandon Sane and one of your former teammates and all that stuff. Here is Quinn talking about his time at Ohio State.
I learned a lot while I was there under, Coach Day and CJ, and just that whole room was awesome to be around, and super thankful for that time that I got to spend there. And like I said, I learned a whole lot. So I don't regret any decision I made on going or anything like that. So, but the main reason I went was I felt like I had a great relationship with the coaching staff, and they were winning a lot of games, and I wanted to go be a part of something like that.
And real quick, here he is on the Buckeye defense and what he sees from them on film.
They're a really high effort group, and they play super hard, and they're coached really well. And whenever you have coaches like that put the schemes in that they have, and they create mismatches and they create, one-on-ones that, they do a good job of maximizing every opportunity that they get. And, I think they do a really good job of covering on the back end. And I think they're just a really good overall defense.
One of the great matchups outside of what we talked about earlier with Texas's secondary going up against Ohio State's wide receivers is down in the trenches. And we highlighted throughout the show, Jack, JT, that gang up front and how they're playing. When you look at these bookend tackles for Texas, these dudes are absolutely legit. Kelvin Banks Jr. is a guy that he'll probably hear his name called within the first 10 to 15 picks. So this is a money-making opportunity for both Jack and JT and some of the defensive linemen that are going to rotate in this thing, because I think you want to turn this game or put this game in the hands of Quinn Ewers if you're Jim Knowles, because you brought up something that's for real, Dane, earlier, and it was the rushing punch from Texas has not been consistent. And Arizona State held Texas to 2 yards per carry in a double overtime game. And so for an extended period of time, Texas could not carve out lanes on the ground. And with the way that Cody Simon is playing, but more importantly, the way the defensive line is playing, I think if they can turn this thing over to Quinn Ewers, that's where you want to be if you're Jim Knowles.
Yeah, what I would do in their shoes is try to get Quinn going early. Because if you do that, you've seen how Ohio State has done it. Then it opens up the run game. If you're going to try to pound the rock early and then you're going to try to rely on Quinn in the passing game to bring him back in it, history tells us this year they haven't been very good at doing that. Georgia, and Arizona State, when they've had to rely on it late to come back, it's just not there for him. So I think getting him going early, the more we talk about it, I think more and more Quinn Ewers is the key to this game, man. And I think some, aside from this game, gets lost. And we talked a little bit about him underperforming or the narrative around him. I don't know all the ins and outs of what happened with coming to Ohio State, leaving Ohio State. All that aside, he has been a huge part of putting Texas back to the limelight.
Absolutely.
Whether he's like the dude, whether he'll go down in history as the best Texan ever, he won't. But he is a huge part of this recent renaissance in the Texas program that is going to continue, even if he goes transfer portal, even if he goes to the NFL, to reap benefits for this program. Because anymore, now you're relevant. You don't think that's going to help recruiting, NIL, whatever else it is. So they have a lot to thank him for. He's a huge story in this game.
That's a good point.
Absolutely. I love that point. And I think the thing with Quinn, he has to just get into who he's been in the second half. I mean, he lost to Georgia in OT in the SEC championship. They kind of clawed back, kept Clemson away, had a great second half. That Arizona State, he was just night and day, just getting them back into the game in the double OT. It's almost like when the heat gets up, he gets better. And so I'm excited to see him go against this group. I know he's hyped up to perform against these guys. And bottom line, man, horns down, go Bucks. Let's get it done. Let's wrangle these cows and let's get it done, man.
One of the guys you got to watch out for Texas when they go to the air is their tight end, Gunnar Helm. But I think what should bring Buckeye fans confidence is the way that Ohio State bottled up Tyler Warren when they did play Penn State. I mean, they held him to 3 catches in the game.
Caleb traveled with him.
That's absolutely. I think what we'll see today with him, right, is you'll have Caleb be able to obviously help you out the run game, but if they want to try to involve Gunnar Helm, which they will at a very high clip, you can have a guy like Caleb Downs shadow him throughout this game. He's got 7 touchdowns this year, so just a name to watch, turning that thing over to the defense when Ohio State is Texas is on offense. Dane, hit me with your final thoughts on this game. We got about a minute left, my guy.
Yeah, I think it comes down to what you already hit, is Ohio State trying to make this thing a passing game. They had put it in Quinn's hands, make him try to beat you. But I'm just looking, I think this is such a cool storyline. I mean, I had been hard on the college football playoff, all of that. But what?
You've been enjoying it?
Yeah, man.
You've been enjoying it. I know you have.
Yeah, I just want to admit I'm wrong. This has been a pretty cool product, man. I'm in.
Let's go.
Depot, final thoughts, man.
I'm in for the entertainment tonight. I'm super excited. I want to see these guys ball. And the thing that I'm really looking forward to is this defense creating havoc. And just like feeling like Texas is cut off on all corners. You're in a corner and you got to go against the Scarlet and Gray defense. And in offense, I'm just looking forward to a light show.
I think the momentum will continue. I think Ohio State's going to move on to the national championship game. Folks, we appreciate your time. As always, Dane, Depot, Jacob on the board. Great job, fellas. We will talk to you, hopefully, next week for a national championship preview. This has been the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Pregame Show right here on The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone from my team at Valley Ford of Columbus. 2025 is here, and as a real Valley Ford customer, I urge you to get online to see all the New Year savings at valleyfordofcolumbus.com. Ford F-150, Bronco Sports, Mustang, Mach-E's. Valley has the massive selection to choose from, plus the lease and financing deals that have you rolling into 2025 with huge savings. Go to valleyfordofcolumbus.com today for all the details. That's valleyfordofcolumbus.com.
Keep on trucking with Valley Ford of Columbus.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through February 3rd, get any new Highlander or Grand Highlander with 6.49 APR financing up to 72 months, including hybrid models with $1,681 per thousand borrowed, subject to approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey fans, it's Bobby Carpenter here for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine that helps restore aching joints. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, it's time to finally get relief, improve your mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love with QC Kinetics. No pain, no surgery, no downtime. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation with my friend Dr. Ray Tesner. They have locations in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544 or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
For 100 years, our passion at Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-8
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dip with chips and wings and even veggies while watching the big game. And now Daisy came out with Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are a game changer. As good as homemade dip, and they've got real herbs and spices. Ingredients you'd find right in your own kitchen. Next time you're watching a big game, before you do, stop at the store and grab these new Daisy French Onion or Daisy Ranch dips.
The Meijer 7 for $7 sale is back for a limited time. Pay $1 each when you mix or match any 7 or more on participating items, like bags of avocado minis, 1.25 liters of Coca-Cola products, plus deposit where applicable, Dannon or Chobani Greek yogurt, Kraft mac and cheese, and Meijer brand frozen vegetables. Save a good deal more with the Meijer 7 for $7 sale. That's the good life. Exclusions apply. See the Meijer app for details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com.